Class 12 Sociology, Volume 1, Chapter 6 The Challenges of Cultural Diversity, Part 2. Hi guys, I welcome you to my Schooling YouTube channel. We are going to discuss about the chapter The Challenges of Cultural Diversity, Part 2. The meaning of assimilation. It is a gradual process by which a person or group belonging to one culture adopts the practice of another, thereby becoming a member of that culture. In simple words, anthropologists and sociologists define assimilation as the process whereby the individuals or groups of differing ethnic heritage are absorbed into the dominant culture of the society. That means we are calling all the people into the mainstream. All cultures, all people absorbed into the mainstream of the society. Policy of assimilation. In the past, Hindu society had been tolerant of groups that would not conform to the set standards by the higher caste. Such groups were denied equal ritual status, but no efforts were made to deflect them from their chosen style of living. In recent years, this attitude has changed. We are going to discuss about two policies here. First, the policy of assimilation, where everybody decides to follow one norm, one belief, and one culture and one common value. The whole country follows the majority as they are more powerful. This avoids lot of problems actually. As I told you, everybody are assimilated or absorbed into the same culture, main culture. Actually, this is for convenience sake and unity of the country. Example, in India, Hindus are the majority and there are so many festivals as compared to the festivals of the Christians or Parsis, etc. Another policy which we are going to discuss here is the policy of integration. The Congress stated position was that the princely states were not sovereign entities, they were not separate, and as such could not opt to be independent notwithstanding the end of paramountcy. The princely states must therefore accede to either India or Pakistan. They have to integrate, join themselves either with India or Pakistan. So all people follow national culture or pattern in public life and keep all non-material cultures in private life. For example, Janagana Mana is national anthem. It is national, but Vande Mataram is non-national. So all princely states were integrated together. The integration of the princely states raised the question of the future of the remaining colonial enclaves in India. At the time of independence in 1947, India was divided into two sets of territories, one under direct British rule and the other under the suzerainty of the British Crown, with control over their internal affairs remaining in the hands of the hereditary rulers. Because community identities can act as a basis for nation formation, the already existing states view them as dangerous rivals because one new state is being formed. Example, Khalistan Sikh community wanted a separate nation. Therefore, states tend to favor a single homogeneous national identity in order to have unity and togetherness. But this does not mean we should suppress the identity of the minority, as it can lead to revolts and there will be no unity. By suppressing the non-national culture of minorities or smaller sections, it can lead to problems and instead of unity, the country will divide. Thus, the government allows people to maintain cultural differences in order to have peace and harmony in the country. An overview of the differences existing in our country. Our country is the third largest in terms of Muslim population after Indonesia and Pakistan. Secularism is practiced in India. We allow others to practice, profess and preach their religion. Minorities are given reservations. When it comes to language, India has 22 official languages, namely Assamese, Bengali, Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Maithili, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Oriya, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Santali, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu and Urdu. There are 1632 languages: Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, English, Punjabi, Urdu. They all constitute. The constitution is in English and all the official documents have to be in one of them, either in Hindi or in English. There are a lot of laws and policies, but the problem is implementation and practicing them. There is a law against dowry, but people still give and take it without any fear. A state is very important, but a state cannot exist without a nation. They are interdependent. India is a good nation state, though it has a lot of diversity and problems. But we live together in peace and harmony due to our tolerance and unity. Regionalism. It refers to three distinct elements: movements demanding territorial autonomy within unitary states, the organization of the central state on a regional basis for the delivery of its policies, including regional development policies, political decentralization, and regional autonomy. Regionalism is connected with the diverse culture, languages, regions, castes, tribes present in our country. Linguism helped in strengthening of India's unity. There was a fear actually, if people are of different languages, it would disintegrate. But it was just the opposite. We are united together. So after independence, we Indians decided to follow the same pattern of the British leading presidencies. Bombay, Madras and Calcutta. Princely states people in Madras spoke Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, different languages under one state. The country was divided on the basis of language. He was apprehensive earlier, but after thought the decision was good because of Vallabhbhai Patel, Home Minister. Language is a binding force, would bring about efficient communication, unity, state, boards, educational purposes. Linguism could spread love for language. Madras Presidency got divided into three states: Madras State, Telugu and Tamil during 1952 to 53, Kerala State, Malayalam, Mysore State, Kannada. Capital was Mysore and shifted to Karnataka and capital was Bangalore. When the Madras State was formed, Telugu people were unhappy as Tamilians were given more important posts and were dominant. Thus they rebelled for a separate state. Potti Sriramulu wanted a separate state. He went on hunger strike for Telugu speaking people. After his death, protests continued and the government gave them Andhra Pradesh. In an effort to protect the interests of the Telugu people of Madras State, Potti Sriramulu attempted to force the Madras State government to listen to public demands for the separation of Telugu-speaking districts, Rayalaseema and coastal Andhra, from Madras State to form Andhra State. This is how the princely states looked together: Andhra, Karnataka and Madras. This map represents separate Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Based on the language, it was separated. It proved to be very successful as language is a great binding force, but regional differences do arise. Example 1971, Pakistan and Bangladesh. Due to administration problems, West Pakistan and East Pakistan, India was in the middle. Urdu was given more importance as compared to Bangla in Bangladesh. Thus they revolted and it led to the formation of Bangladesh in a separate democratic nation. In this India map it is clearly indicated separately West Pakistan and East Pakistan. India is in the middle. Map of Sri Lanka is shown. Sri Lanka, the Tamilians and Sinhalas, dominant language, official parliament administration, Sinhalese. Tamilians wanted to be given equal importance. The LTTE was formed which wanted to help the people. This led to Rajiv Gandhi's assassination. We have come to the end of part 2. Hope you guys would have understood and enjoyed my video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel Schooling. Press the bell icon, you will be notified every single time when I upload new videos. If you have any questions, please ask in Instagram.